Well, I think the CREA project is really impressive. I looked into it. I went back and reviewed your slides, looked at the website, and it's very impressive. You're going right at helping teachers in the use and the creation of OER all the way from kindergarten up through high school. And that in and of itself is important because open education really started in higher education. And so primary and secondary schools are, it depends on what country you're in, but they're about 10 years behind where the universities and the community colleges and the TVETs are, just because open education started sooner. The other big difference that open education took off faster in higher education is that individual faculty at universities tend to have a lot of authority over what materials they use in their classroom, whereas it's in many cases schools and school districts make the decision at a higher level, and the teachers don't always have, certainly they don't have as much time to create and share educational resources in most countries. And oftentimes the decision about what the curriculum will be for the school or for the school district or for the state are made at a higher level. And so they're just very different spaces, and it can be more challenging. There's also more opportunity, I believe. Nevertheless, to see projects that are working in those grade levels is great. We need more of that. So I was very pleased to see this project working in that space. I think one thing that I was particularly interested in your project about that I saw is very positive is how well it aligns with the 5 areas of the UNESCO recommendation on OER, and that you're thinking about that and you're talking about that. Not only are those, is that kind of the UNESCO recommendation is kind of the state of the art about what the best practices are and what the actions are that governments ought to be taking, but also what education institutions can be doing. And we all know that when good work with open education happens at a school level, that oftentimes then that information gets shared up and can go all the way up to national governments. Top down is great if you can get a national open licensing policy and money from the top to support teachers and educators. But it's also true that the grassroots movements can move countries and can move politics. And so investing in teachers is critical. And then the two big areas, the EXE learning, the authoring tool that teachers can use to create OER, is wonderful. Anything that we can do to make it easier to openly license, anything we can do to make it easier to create educational resources and share them as OER, and make it easy for teachers to find those materials is great. Which of course leads to your forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, but your eScholarium, your platform where OER can be shared among teachers and professors, and then that students can access it and use it as well, is critical because it's often the case that people become aware and they learn about OER and Creative Commons licenses and they get really excited, and then they say, okay, where do I go? Where can I find all these amazing materials? And if we tell them, oh, good luck, go to Google and do a search, or if you're looking in chemistry, there's 15 different repositories around the world that you should look at. Those are not good answers for teachers that have very limited time. And so, the fact that you are creating a space for your teachers where you're bringing this OER together and making it easy for them, that's wonderful. And that's really I believe the right thing to do. So I congratulate you on both of those efforts.